everybody, welcome back to Subi's Kitchen. So I'm a registered dietitian, as I think you know already, and I'm also a realtor, very, very busy, and I'm getting prepared to do a kitchen renovation. We got a little setback. Our permits got lost at the township building because of Hurricane Ida. So we're kind of low on the list, which I understand. A lot of people had a lot of problems and are still cleaning up and displaced. So we're gonna still be making food, or I'm gonna be making food for the freezer. So when we are under demo, we have something to eat. I'm making spinach, gluten-free spinach called hand pies. This is what they said in the recipe. I'm actually gonna use a rice wrapper, which is gluten-free, and I'm gonna make a spinach and feta filling to put inside. And we're gonna see if they come out. First, the very important part is to defrost the spinach. You could cook it if you wanted to in the microwave, but you must squeeze it out. See, it's very dry now. If you don't squeeze it out, you're gonna have really soggy, anything you make is gonna be very soggy. So I'm going to grate some onion to put in here. It says you can chop it. I think just grating it is gonna be a little bit better because it's not gonna be these big chunks. Be a little easier than chopping it super finely. And that is the dog in the background, in case you hear one of them. We'll put the onion in here. And next we have some feta cheese. And I'll post all the amounts like I usually do, the ingredients. I'm just gonna crumble it up. This recipe that I found first called for cream cheese, but I thought that'd be a good binder, I suppose, but I'm not really wanting to eat a lot of cream cheese, so I'm gonna just use my eggs as the binder and hope for the best. So I'm crumbling this up. This is a Greek feta, which is actually sheep's milk. There's different kinds of feta you could get. So if you're looking for something that's not from a cow, you could look for sheep. Usually it will tell you right in the carton. So I'm just gonna whisk these up a little bit so that it'll make it easier than putting them in the bowl and then whisking them up. Put all my eggs, woo, into my dill. I'm just gonna chop some of that off. I already cleaned it. And dill, it's so fine already, but you can just chop it up as however you want. Coarsely, finely. Now I'm gonna actually maybe have some of these, a few for dinner tonight, and then I'm gonna put the rest in the freezer, which is for my freezer prep meals for the renovation. So whenever I'm doing anything like that, I'm making a little bit extra so that I can just put them in there. I actually have a few meals in there for some meals for people that needed some meals during the hurricane, or after the hurricane, I should say. So a few extra of those. And I think I'm gonna just keep a few things going in there for any times, because there's always people that need things, like people having babies, people going through medical treatments, maybe they don't have family. All right, I'm doing a little pepper. Maybe they don't have family to help them. And that way I have a lot of space in my freezers because I like to cook a lot. And you know, now that I'm a realtor too, making a little bit more money, not that I necessarily, you know, we have a plan here, but it's nice to be able to help people and not be so worried about it, that you could actually use some of those resources. So I'm just stirring this up. And then the fun part, we'll see how this comes out. I'm gonna use the rice wrappers. This is a little juicy, but let's get it good and mixed because the spinach is so dry. So maybe it's gonna set up a little bit in here. The rice wrappers, you soak them in water, and then I'm just gonna do one at a time just so that I can see how it's gonna work out. My rice wrappers, these are spring roll wrappers from the grocery store. In the ethnic section, you know, there's lots of different things from different countries. These are rice wrappers. You could use these for like, you know, they make, people make like spring rolls. They're cold. Maybe have like a little salad sort of thing in them with some Asian spices, see-through. And it's hard, but as soon as I put it in the water, it's gonna get soft. But I'm gonna do one at a time because I don't want it to all stick together. I have a good amount of extra virgin olive oil on here. So when I wrap this up, I'm gonna put it on here and kind of roll it around a little to coat it with a little oil. It's important that you think about these things ahead of time if you wanna cook good food. When you're so busy all the time, you know? So you gotta have stuff in your freezer. All right, let's just see. Hopefully this is not gonna be too filled. It's just a circle. You can barely see it because it's on the board and it's all wet. All right, so you're putting one side over, then the end, pop it up like that, and that end, and then you're gonna kind of try to keep it a little tight. All right, let's see, it looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm gonna just get it on the paper here and then turn it over. I just did parchment paper so that it won't stick. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of them and then I'll be right back. All right, so now I have one pan ready to go into the oven at 350. Now, one thing that I found was easier while I was doing this, as you see, I had the pan of water here. I put a towel here, so then when I took it out, I could just put it on the towel. That helped to dry it off, but it still let me roll it up. All right, so we'll see what they come out like. They look pretty good. They're not super crispy, but they are a little bit browned. And I think the second pan came out a little bit better than the first one because I put less of them on one tray. So next time I'll do half and half. Probably better. And I might even crank it up a little bit. It was set for 350, but I think 400 might have been nicer. So we will see what they taste like. All right, so I'm digging into this. Looks pretty tasty, but I think it's a little bit hot. So just be careful here. Oh yeah, you can really taste that dill and the feta cheese. That's gonna be really good. And look how sturdy they are. They're actually really sturdy. So I think they're gonna be great for the freezer. We can just pop them out and put them in the microwave. All right, so next time on Subi's Kitchen, what will I be making next? Like me, share me.